everyone, welcome back. Happy Mabon, happy autumnal equinox. I hope that you guys are really having a wonderful day today. I hope that you are beginning to feel the wonderful energy of fall, that all the blessings are coming your way, all the good things. And of course, this video might be released the day or after or 2 days after Mabon, depending on when I get everything set up. But regardless, it is being recorded on Mabon, so happy Mabon. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I hope that you really allow yourself to step into the blessings of fall and all of the beautiful things to come. So I wanted to do a pick a card for the rest of the fall equinox energy. So looking at the time period from today, the fall equinox, up until the winter solstice coming up at the end of December. So that's more or less a 3-month period, right? More or less. Because we have already at the end of September, then we have October, November, and then December, so 3-month energy. So we're looking at the 3 months ahead for what's coming, what are we working with, the kind of energy that we can expect for ourselves. So I've made 3 groups for you guys. I'm going to insert a little info tab where you can see the crystals better, and then you can make your decisions. So we have group 1 here on the far left with the blue topaz. Then we have group 2 in the middle with the carnelian, and we have group 3 here with the pink calcite on the far right. So each of these groups are going to be associated with 1 book from my personal library. And I decided to do a little bit of bibliomancy for you guys to start off the reading. So for those of you who don't know, bibliomancy is really fun. It's essentially taking a book that you really connect with, breathing over the pages, or perhaps just holding your hand over the book and waiting until you hear a number or you feel intuitively where to look. From there, you open the book, and the first line that you see is usually a message that you can apply to the question that you asked for. Right? So since we're asking about the general energy for the 3 months ahead, for the rest of this autumnal equinox season for us, then we're going to be asking the book to see what kind of information can come out. So I'm really excited to check it out. I'm super hyped. It's going to be fun. So I will see group 1 in like 2 seconds. See you in a bit. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. I'm really excited to see what the cards have to say for your next 3 months for this autumnal equinox season. And of course you guys picked the blue topaz, which I really love. Blue topaz is a beautiful crystal that is associated with the throat chakra. It's associated sometimes also with the third eye. It is associated with the fire element, so there is a lot about invoking your inner sense of peace to ignite the voice within, right? It's almost as if like you're finding your center so you can speak more clearly, speak more effectively, to see more, fluidly. That's an interesting way to look at it, right? To see more fluidly, to not box yourself into the kind of experiences, circumstances, or emotions that may be associated with past paradigms. So you may be experiencing a lot of reminiscence. It's kind of like looking to the past and wondering like what happened or how did I get here, things like this. So it feels like allowing this breath of fresh air to come through. I'm also seeing you guys like taking walks, long walks, out in the open air, perhaps in a space where it is green, that may be beneficial for you, or by the open ocean, or someplace where there is water, where the fresh breeze can come across the waves and really reignite or really cleanse your throat chakra, cleanse your third eye, because there's a lot that you have to give. Group 1. I want to say group 3. I want to say group 3, which is funny. So perhaps 3 is a number that you've been seeing recently, or there's an old Irish saying, if I'm not mistaken, where it says, "May you go forth with the strength of 3," which is kind of cool. I mean, I think I'm getting that from somewhere. But may the strength of three always be with you, which is a reference to the Trinity, of course, in the mythology of Christianity, and also within the folk tales of Christianity. So that may resonate for you guys. So the blue topaz is really a powerful stone to start off with. And the book that you guys picked in association with the blue topaz is All the Words Are Yours, a haiku on love by Tyler Knott Gregson. So let's see. Oh, I like that. Here starts the journey. Here begins the adventure. Hold tight to my hand. So what I'm really feeling from this, you guys, is you're not as alone as you may feel. Again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, but I feel some of you may have been feeling a little bit lonely or a little bit not knowing what your next steps are, whether that may be in business or in finances or within your love life or within your interpersonal life or with your friendships, whatever it may be. But there is a sense of a journey. This journey is beginning. And this fall equinox is the start of that journey. As you fall into the beauty of fall, what the fall can offer, what the autumn can offer. I always look at autumn as this time where things ripen into gold. Wisdom, knowledge ripens into wisdom. Green ripens into gold, right? There's a longevity to autumnal energy. And it seems to me here there's an adventure that is beginning for you guys. And I like at the end where it says, hold tight to my hand. For some reason that feels really poignant, because the first thing that I heard when I read that final line, hold tight to my hand, was that your ancestors are with you. Perhaps some of you have a really close connection to your grandmother, or a close connection to someone who had passed away, or whoever it is who is a part of your ancestral group that you really connect with. I'm really feeling the strong energy of them saying, like, we're with you. Don't be afraid. Like, the journey may seem long. The journey may seem like you're beginning alone, but you're not, right? There are so many people who are holding your hand, so many people who are next to you, so many people who want to see you succeed. There are so many energies in this world that are hoping for you to go where you've always wanted to go, and that are right behind you. And it's so inspiring to hear. It's so inspiring to feel also. So it's kind of like with the energy of blue topaz, it's like lift your voice. Lift your voice and sing praises of your own soul. Lift your voice and sing the song of your heart. Let your voice touch the heavens, knowing that there are so many people waiting to hear your song. So I don't know who this message is for, but it's a strong one. It feels very intense. So I'm starting off with the Divine Tarot to see what we may find. Because I already spent 6 minutes just like channeling. Let's see. But yeah, it seems like you guys are on a journey, or about to begin a journey. And some of you have been working through a lot of perhaps emotional anxiety, and a sense of, how do I say this? Like, you kind of get stuck in your own mind. It's almost as if your thoughts never stop worrying. They never stop turning like a whirlwind, right? Or you've been feeling that way recently. Now, I'm curious because it seems to me that, yeah, that some of these thoughts have been coming through and kind of distracting you in some way. Yeah. But you're being asked to release these thoughts. I'm getting a message for some of you too that it's been pretty hard to sleep recently. So again, take what resonates. If you have been having a difficult time sleeping, what I'm hearing is try and disconnect from cell phones or screens or anything like that 30 minutes prior to bed. That may be helpful for you, because I know sometimes we get caught up in, being online and things. Wow, that was quick. That was very quick. It was like, done. And of course, we're going to get to see what the rest of the cards want to say. But it feels to me that this journey that's beginning for you is going to be very powerful, centered around your creative journey, which I feel like you've started a few times, and it hasn't always gotten to a space of where you wanted it to go. And that's okay. It's okay. There's so much more. There's so much more waiting. And it's gonna be good. Because you guys have been through a lot. Not only just like from the financial side of things, but have been through a lot. Like your emotional fortitude has been tested for a long time. And so I'm feeling this energy of like, no, you got this. You're much stronger than you give yourself credit for. And this equinox energy, and what I'm feeling for this equinox for you guys, is really focusing on how to implement your voice, how to find that joy again within your heart, how to calm the inner mind. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. And the last card for you guys. With this deck, I usually just take one card. Because we like just one card from this deck. Because it usually has a small message that I then read from the book. For those of you who have seen my other pick a card readings, you know this deck. It's the Khalil Gibran's deck from the Prophet. So it seems to me that you're being asked to find greater simplicity in your life. Greater sense of peacefulness, finding pockets of peace in your daily life for yourself, because you guys are running yourself ragged. Okay, come on guys, let's go. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. So like I was saying earlier, right, we have the Nine of Swords here. The Nine of Swords, how I usually connect with it, or how I see it, is this sense of sleepless nights, insomnia, feeling your mind going 1,000 miles a minute, right? So this Nine of Swords is really suggesting that your mental landscape is a little bit harried at this time. But this equinox time period is going to be asking you to release these thoughts, to release these, to release your worries is what I'm hearing. Because there's a lot of worry about where you're going, about the journey ahead, like we've seen in the bibliomancy section. This journey that you're taking, there's so many people who are here to support you, but it feels like you're walking alone, or it feels like that, but you're not as alone as you think. You have community, you have people who are there for you. And a part of this journey for the autumnal equinox is allowing yourself to raise your voice, to reach out, to ask for help, to understand that you are abundant, right? With the Five of Pentacles here in reverse, I see that as releasing the lack mentality, releasing this mentality around I don't have enough, or I don't have what I need, or I'm not in a space to make the moves that I need to make, right? When, yes, of course, there are circumstances that are beyond our control. Sometimes it is really difficult to make moves or decisions that we want to make because there are practical things in life. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't, right? There are practical issues when it comes to finances, practical issues when it comes to physical movement from one space to another. There's a lot that can happen in this world. But just as there's a lot that can happen in the world, there is so much more that can happen in your inner life. So much more to ignite the power within you, because we have the Ace of Coins here. And I love to see the Ace of Coins in a reading, especially after the Five of Coins showing up in reverse, because it feels to me that there's a new abundant dawn breaking over the horizon for you, especially during this autumnal equinox season. So I'm seeing from this end of September towards the beginning of November, this is a time period for you to reorganize your life, to find more simplicity, because this is the card that came out alongside the rest of them, literally simplicity. For those of you who connect to the angels, I would suggest perhaps praying to them to help you with your worries, to allow them as messengers to bear the message of love into your heart, because we have the white feather here that is just floating in the clouds, and the first thing I thought of were the angels. So if you do connect with them, that may be a sign for you. So I do see this moment of simplicity. But then here we have power, the lightning and the thunder, the storm. So it feels to me that you are being invited to connect more deeply to your inner power, to reawaken that sense of calmness, of purpose, of where you want to go, right? Where you are headed. We also have the reunion of souls here, so I'm feeling, especially since we're starting Libra season when I'm recording this, the sun just moved into Libra today on the autumnal equinox. So I'm seeing this reunion of souls as an opportunity for you to connect to your soul family, or as an opportunity for you to connect to the people that you care about, the people that you feel most at home with, because they're going to have the advice, the support, and the necessary resources to assist you in whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Then we also have here, the gates of his heart were flung open, the coming of the ship. It's time to fling open the gates of your hearts. Fling them open. Let everyone see. Let everyone see the beauty of your heart. You don't lack in beauty. You don't lack in abundance. You don't lack in creative potential. You are so gifted. You are so gifted in what you need to do. And of course, I hope this message reaches the people that it needs to reach. So I'll read this for you guys very quickly. But first, I think I may have to restart the camera. So just 1 second. Okay, I was right. We only had 36 seconds left and I wanted to read this for you guys. So it says here, the gates of his heart were flung open, from the chapter on the coming of the ship from the prophet by Khalil Gibran. He climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward, and he beheld his ship coming with the mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far over the sea, and he closed his eyes and prayed in the silences of his soul. This is absolutely beautiful, and it really taps into what we were discussing earlier. Group 1, you are on a journey, or you are beginning the journey, whatever that journey may be, whether it's financial, spiritual, emotional, interpersonal, or perhaps even romantic, whatever that journey is for you, because again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates. But whatever this journey is for you, whatever that small voice that speaks in the silence of your soul, and that voice is speaking so softly that you have to strain your ear to hear it, whatever that may be, this intuitive principle, this voice of the blue topaz that's trying to tell you where to go, where the new journey is taking you, right? Don't shy away from that journey. Fling open the gates of your heart and let your joy fly over this earth. And I know that seems really vague, but let's put it this way. When you pursue your happiness and your joy, when you work towards sharing your abundance, your creativity, let's say you're a dancer. This is just something that's coming to my mind, so perhaps some of you are. But let's say you're a dancer, and you always wanted to dance for the public, right? And there's been a lot of opportunities that you've tried that haven't worked out, and you've been feeling a little bit downtrodden and crestfallen, and there's this feeling of like, will I ever be a dancer? There are so many ways that that dream can twist and turn and grow and be in a different space, right? Without having to give it up, without having to let it go, right? You can become a dance teacher. You can get on the stage in a different way. There's so many things that dance can lead you to, right? And it feels to me that trying it once more, going for the journey once again, knowing your inner power, allowing your mind to find simpler things, to declutter the mind, declutter your space even. For some of you, I'm getting the message that they may be really beneficial to declutter your space. I'm also getting a very specific message that some of you may still have items from past relationships or items from past connections. And of course, you don't have to get rid of them. But if you find them, if you pull them out and you feel a sense of anxiety, or there's still a feeling of nostalgia that keeps you in the past, but it doesn't feel that great, it may be beneficial to release it, or it may be beneficial to give it away, or to give it to wherever you can send it, right? But that was a very specific message for some of you. So it feels to me, finding this simplicity, releasing lack mentality, allowing your mental landscape to go quiet, right? And I know that's much harder than it sounds. I know that. It's not an easy feat, right? It's not an easy feat to allow your mind to release the Nine of Swords, to get to a space where you can say, okay, I'm calm, right? But find grounding practices that may be helpful for you. But it feels to me like this journey is beginning. This journey has a lot of abundance for you. The next 3 months are going to be a turning point for you. It feels to me that there are going to be new opportunities that are coming in, especially in October, and especially towards the end of October. So please keep a lookout for any new opportunities that are coming your way. Don't be afraid to take them. But yes, this is what I have for you. Let your joy fly out across the sea. Don't be afraid to share all of your joy to all of us here, because we kind of need you. We really do. So that's what I have for you guys in group 1. I'll give you a quick rundown of the bottom of the deck energy. We have struggle. Like I said, you guys have been through a lot. You have struggled a lot. But it feels to me that the next 3 months are going to be the end of that struggle, or at least the releasing of that struggle energy. Then we have the Ace of Swords here, which I feel like once you allow this simplicity and you cleanse your space, cleanse your mind, and allow yourself to find grounding practices, there's going to be a lot more clarity about the kind of journey that you're taking. Then we have Purity, which again feels very much connected to simplicity, at least that's how I see it. And then we also have Enter the Temple Invisible, Prayer. So it feels to me as well with prayer, one last note. Prayer is not always something that we have to use to ask for things. Prayer can be your conversation with the world. Prayer is just another way of saying that moment that you allow your heart to speak to the world around it without anyone needing to listen. That's prayer. So let your heart speak. Let it speak its fears, its doubts, its insecurities. Let it speak its joy, its hopes, and its dreams. And then lean into that. Lean into the dreams. So group 1, I hope that resonates with you. Let me know if you like it. I'm going to get to group 2. So a very blessed Mabon to you guys. I hope this autumnal equinox and the rest of the equinox time period until the winter solstice finds you in great blessings. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye group 1. Hi group 2, welcome to your reading for this Mabon. I'm really excited. The sun has come out and it feels really good. It feels, we just had a rainstorm earlier here in New York City and it was pretty big. And it felt like it was cleansing the space, and so now to see the sun, it feels really beautiful. It feels like, especially getting this message for you guys specifically, that the dark days are over. That's interesting. Like the dark days are over. It feels like sliding into sensuality, sliding into a sense of a fullness within the body, which I think is quite beautiful. So some of you may have been working on grounding, and it feels like this is your confirmation that you are doing the things that you need to do in order to ground. I see you eating better, taking better care of yourself. And of course, if this is resonating, great. If not, don't worry. I'm sure there are other readers or other groups you can check out from this reading, or other readers on YouTube that you can check out. Spirit always has a message to bear for you. And again, this is a general reading, as you know. So take what resonates. But it feels like that. It feels like this is a group that has been working on grounding themselves, and it feels really good. You guys had picked the carnelian, the raw carnelian, which I love. Carnelian is a beautiful stone. It has a lot of cultural significance for many people across the world. And what I like to see from carnelian is that it's a lot about emotional balancing. I always find carnelian to be connected to the central center of the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra being a space just below the navel where we have our creative energy resides. It is the chakra of water. So it is all about water. It's about emotions. It's about the way that we connect to our fluidity, to our grace, the way we dance, the way we breathe, right? And to see carnelian in this particular reading, especially with the book that is connected to it, which is 20 poemas de amor y una canción desesperada de Pablo Neruda, which is going to be really cool. So 20 songs about love and a song of desperation. So we'll see what the book has to say, and then we'll get into the cards. So a little bit of bibliomancy for group 2, the messages that they need to hear. Okay. 100 sonetos de amor. So this is from his 100 sonnets of love. This is number 21. So 21 may be a sign for you guys. I'm also hearing the 21 divisiones, something like that. So those of you who are connected to that, that's pretty cool. This may be a sign for you. So it says, oh, que todo el amor propague en mí su boca, que no sufra un momento más sin primavera. Yo no vendí sino mis manos al dolor. Ahora, bien amada, déjame con tus besos. Cubre la luz de mes abierto con tu aroma. Cierra las puertas con tu cabellera. Y en cuanto a mí, no olvides que si despierto y lloro, es porque en sueños solo soy un niño perdido, que busca entre las hojas de la noche tus manos, el contacto del trigo que tú me comunicas, un rapto centelleante de sombra y energía. Oh bien amada, y nada más que sombra, por donde me acompañas en tus sueños y me digas la hora de la luz. Ooh. Okay, so for those of you who are Spanish speakers, there you go. I will roughly translate what I got from it, because I know a lot of my audience is English speakers. But this is a beautiful poem about how I feel it is the ways in which we connect to our inner sensuality, the ways in which we allow our inner child to guide the beauty of the heart, right? There's one part here where he says, you know, and when I awaken and when I cry, it's because in my dreams, and only in my dreams am I a small child lost, that looking between the leaves of night, I search your hands, like seeking for your hands between the leaves of night, which is beautiful. So it feels to me like this, it feels to me that this equinox into the next 3 months until the summer solstice is going to be a time for you guys to reconnect with your sensuality. And that doesn't only mean sensuality through the physical form, but sensuality in terms of the way that you speak to yourself, sensuality in the way that you dream, sensuality in the way that you draw, that you create, that you write, that you speak, right? Allowing sensuality to permeate your embodied reality. And how I would take that is connecting deeply to this feeling of love, right? He says, oh, that all of the love that propagates in me from your mouth, right? Like, que sufra un momento más sin primavera. I do not want to suffer a moment more without spring, right? Let that desire for life really reignite for you during these next 3 months. So I'm being called to start with the shamanic oracle first, instead of going for the tarot. I usually start with the tarot first, but something's really calling me to that. So yes, it feels to me that there's this beautiful energy. I'll also link below a translation of the 21st sonnet for you guys. So you can check it out. Let's see. There's a lot about sensuality and the changes that come from that. Because there are a lot of changes for you guys, and it feels to me like you guys are also releasing burdens. You're releasing heaviness, especially around your body, or perhaps especially around the images that you had around the body, not only of your physical body, but the body of your community, the body of your corpus, the body of your spiritual body or your emotional body, right? We have more than one body that are all interconnected. So let's see what's coming up for the next 3 months too. How unique. Haha! A hidden one. Yes, put that here, because I feel like that's connected. We have these three. And then we'll go for this. Yes. So it seems to me for you guys in group 2, there's a great emphasis on community and the changes in your community. So I feel that you may have had a lot of changes in your friendships, changes in your work environment, perhaps like people coming and going, or new faces, new experiences, new opportunities to expand your community, or perhaps even revealing aspects of your community that you were not aware of. Because there's also an emphasis on truthfulness. Upward or reverse? 2 more. Yep. Upright. Put it on its side. Okay. So, let's go through this quickly and then we'll go for the last card here. So the first card that came out was changes. So again, this feels to me like there's a lot of changes that are going on in your life. Like I had mentioned, there's changes in your community, because I saw this card come out. It was the hidden card that was hanging out with all the rest of the cards that I was pulling out. But for some reason, community really felt connected to changes. So I do see changes in your community, changes in the ways that you see your community. Perhaps you're having new experiences when it comes to, like I said, new relationships, new friendships, new opportunities for growth. It also feels to me like you're being asked to reorganize your community, which to me means taking stock of the people in your life, taking stock of the things that you have before you, because there's this great emphasis on the body. There's a great emphasis on the physical spaces that you inhabit, the physical spaces that you visit, the physical spaces that you are in, right? Invoking sensuality, allowing the sensuous nature of yourself to bleed into the community as well. Because it feels to me that some of you, there's just a message for some of you, but it feels to me like some of you are a little afraid of going out there and being seen as sexy. And that could be for many reasons, right? They can be for good reasons, for bad reasons, for strange reasons, for fun reasons, whatever it may be. Whatever the reason that you have for yourself, it feels to me that there's a part of you that has been apprehensive of sharing your sensual nature with the community at large. And it feels like that's about to change because you're being asked to tap more deeply into that, which I find really beautiful. So we have the other card here was truth. So it feels to me that there's a lot of truthfulness coming in, especially in October. So I wouldn't be surprised if you'll be hearing truths from several people, whether those truths may be during conversations or a random email that you receive, especially when Mercury leaves retrograde, which I think will be sometime in October as well. So there's going to be a lot of communication, a lot of clarity around relationships, clarity around the things that you've been wondering about. It feels like this truth is coming in for you. And with that truth is going to come great opportunity for potential. So this potential, which is towards the end of October into November, I'm seeing that once you get a clear picture of what's actually happening, once the dust settles is what I'm hearing, and you continue to allow yourself to feel through the body, I feel like what's coming through as well is allowing your body to be your compass, allowing your body to be your guide. Do you feel good in this space? Do you feel peaceful in this space? Do you feel welcomed in this space? Does your community make you feel at home? Does your community make you feel anxious? Does your community make you feel as if you're being overwrought, that you have to take on more than you need to, right? There's all these different questions that your body is naturally answering. It tells you when it's tired. It tells you when it's frustrated, right? And allowing this clarity to come through is going to give you even greater opportunity for growth. Potential for growth here is really big because there's a lot of changes coming. I don't know what these changes are for you guys, but they feel good. They feel like shifts in the people around you, shifts in the people you surround yourself by. And interesting enough, we have courage. So to have courage to share more of yourself, have courage to see these changes happen in your life, to see these changes happen in your interpersonal relationships, and even in your emotional landscape. Let these changes happen. You have the courage and the power to face it. Don't be afraid to embrace the change. For example, I'm getting a very specific message. So for some of you, you may have a friend that you are feeling more for than just friendship, right? A part of this journey that's beginning for the autumnal equinox into the winter solstice is perhaps maybe you might feel encouraged or might feel inspired to share that you feel more for this person than you let on, right? And that takes courage, right? Or there may be a certain circumstance where you have a business partner or a friend that you need to really rehash your boundaries with, and you're perhaps not looking forward to that conversation. Have the courage to do it because you are totally prepared. Like, you have everything you need to make this conversation happen, to stand up for yourself, to open yourself up to the new potential, to this new change and all of that's occurring. Because I see here also, you have a great awareness, or this time period is going to be a deeper awareness of your intuition, which I'm really excited for you guys. But let me just reset the camera and then we'll get back to the reading. Okay, so as I was saying, we have this connection to the High Priestess here, which is beautiful. I love this card. It's actually gorgeous. And the High Priestess, for all intents and purposes, is very much a card that is connected to our intuition. It's connected to who we are, what we feel, the gut feelings, all of that, the inner knowledge, right? Nothing can get past the sight of the High Priestess. So you guys are being invited for the next couple of months to really tap into your intuition, to tap into your gut feelings, right? Like I said, your body is speaking to you with this carnelian, with Pablo Neruda's poem, with this desire for the spring, with this desire for something more, for something better, right? With whatever those desires are leading you somewhere, right? Your body is telling you messages every day. And I think that this next 3-month period is for you to really connect to that, to really tap into your body and to know that your body cannot lie to you, right? And, but the mind can. Now, the mind is not disconnected from the body. Don't mistake that. I don't believe in the whole dichotomy between the mind and the body. That's not what I believe in. I believe in a holistic manifestation of a spiritual corpus, of a body that exists across space, right? Your mind is not separate from your body. Though, what I will say is that your mind has the ability to ignore messages from other parts of itself. The body has the ability to listen to pieces of itself rather than to listen to the full picture, right? Or to listen to the full symphony. So it feels to me like you're really being invited to tap into that intuitive potential. And I'm being told also to read this very uniquely. So like I connected changes in community, I'm feeling called to connect some of these cards as well. So we have, for example, Truth and the World card, which I love. So for me, this feels like you guys have completed a cycle recently, whether that cycle is an old friendship that had to be released, or a new friendship that is being reawakened, or perhaps this cycle is closing in terms of closing a job, closing like a previous job, or walking away, having already walked away from past relationships. Yes, it feels like you guys have closed a chapter, and this autumnal equinox is the beginning of a new chapter. It is the beginning of a new chapter that's connected with truth, with seeing clearly, feeling clearly, right? Because we also have this potential that I will then connect with the High Priestess. So these two cards together for me represent the massive amounts of potential that your intuition has as a guidepost for you. So again, tapping into that intuition. Then we have the Six of Coins here that I decided to put on its side. I was feeling to do that. The Six of Coins normally represents how we relate to others, how we give and how we receive, right? I always see the Six of Coins as balance, right? And to see this associated with courage, right, feels to me that it's time for you to have courage in regards to how you maintain your boundaries, courage in how you maintain what you give and what you take, what you receive and what you hand over to others, right? It feels like for a very long time you guys often gave a lot to others. You are a very giving soul. And it feels to me there's a lot of changes not only in your community but in your internal environment that is asking you to be more firm with the kind of boundaries that you have, more firm with the ways in which you're able to give and receive, right? Finding more balance so that you will have enough to eat, your friends will have enough to eat, your family will have enough to eat, like this equal distribution of energy for everybody, right? And then we also have the final card for you guys. Let's see. So that we can close your reading. Let's see. This. Sing to me a deeper song. I'll show you that. Sing to me a deeper song from the chapter The Farewell. So let's see, number 41. Sing to me a deeper song from the chapter Farewell. I only speak to you in words of that which you yourselves know in thought. And what is word knowledge but a shadow of wordless knowledge? Your thoughts and my words are waves from a sealed memory that keep records of our yesterdays, and of the ancient days when the earth knew not us nor herself, and of nights when earth was upwrought with confusion. Wise men have come to you to give you of their wisdom. I came to take of your wisdom. And behold, I have found that which is greater than wisdom. I was really drawn to this line that said, and what is word knowledge but a shadow of wordless knowledge? Again, there's a great emphasis for you guys on sensuality, on embodied knowledge, on embodied understanding, on kinesthetic consciousness, right? The ways in which your body is telling you all that you need to know. I think it's quite beautiful. So I hope that resonates with you guys. Just to give you the end of the bottom of the deck energy, we have here number 10, burden. So again, I feel like these next 3 months are you guys really releasing your burdens as you change the emotional landscape and your relationships to yourself and others. I also see here for you to be diligent, right? To be diligent in maintaining your boundaries, not only with others, but with yourself. I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that the most important boundaries are not the ones that we have with others, but the ones we have with ourselves. And also to acknowledge when those boundaries are placed in fear or when those boundaries are placed in love. Those are a really big difference, because oftentimes we may have a boundary that prevents us from embracing love or a loving partnership or a loving relationship or embracing a new financial opportunity, right? Because we have this boundary up that we created when we were afraid of allowing those things into our life because of a certain vulnerability or an emotional experience that we had prior. So again, being diligent in maintaining these boundaries, or being diligent in taking them down when necessary. We also have the 9 of coins here, which to me feels like by the end of December, like into the middle of December and the end of December, the holiday season, I feel that there's going to be a great abundance for you. You're going to feel more at peace, more at home. You're going to feel like you have the wealth of the world in your hands, which is going to be really nice. So I hope that resonates with you guys, group 2. I'm going to get started on group 3 because I already feel the spiritual the spiritual the sleep time. So I want to get to their reading before I knock out. So I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading and have a wonderful, blessed Mabon. Bye, everybody. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. Happy Mabon. I really am excited to see what your cards have to say for the next 3 months ahead, up until the winter solstice, which will be towards the end of December 21st or 22nd, depending on how the planet does its thing. So you guys picked the pink manganocalcite. I think that's what it's called. And I really like this stone. It is absolutely gorgeous. When you actually put UV light under it, it glows a brilliant purple, which I love that because to me, this is a heart-centered stone. So this feels really gentle, really compassionate. It feels like emotional healing. So for some of you, I feel like you are in the process of healing emotionally, or you're in the process of really finding greater balance within your heart space. So releasing anger, releasing grief, releasing heartache and heart pain. For some of you, I also feel like it may be beneficial to work with hawthorn, because hawthorn tea, whether it's used by the hawthorn berries, or you can use the hawthorn leaves, both of which are very good for the heart, and they're very good for the cardiovascular system generally. They are vascular tonics, so they'll be really beneficial. This is what I'm hearing. So if that resonates with you, please feel free to use that as you will. It's a really nice tea. But manganocalcite or pink calcite is really something that you would use to heal the heart center, to heal the inner child, to heal the mother wound as well. And I know that's a very specific phrase in the spiritual community. It basically means the ways in which we had been mothered in our early years that perhaps may not have been as beneficial as it could have been, because we're all human, our parents included, right? And it's not totally the fault of our parents, in the same way that it's not totally the fault of anyone involved, right? We all have certain responsibilities and certain relationships according to the social roles that we fulfill in our lives. And there are a lot of other environmental factors. For example, the spaces that you live in, the people that live in those spaces with you, the kind of environment that you're in. There's a lot that goes into it. But the mother wound essentially is relationship traumas, relationship issues, or things that have happened in regards to the way that we mother ourselves as well, right? How we take care of ourselves. Sometimes we don't take care of ourselves as best as we could, right? And that's okay. But it feels to me that this manganocalcite is suggesting that for this next 3-month period, there is a lot of compassion, being compassionate with yourself as you heal, as you take the opportunity to recover from whatever emotional work that you have been working on. So you guys also are connected with the book Naked Song by Lala. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Lala was a 14th century North Indian mystic, which is really cool. So not many people know about her, but she's really awesome. So let's see what this book has to say for you guys in group 3. So this is the first thing that I saw. So we'll go for that one. What has happened to me? All these songs tell one story. That of Lala on a lake, not knowing what sandbar I'll run aground on. What kind of luck have I had? I made harmony out of a man's clumsy plastering job on the ceiling. Still, I wonder which sandbank will strand me. And how is it now with me? Magnificent. This becoming more and more awake. Anything else? Nope. That was it. Cool. I find this really beautiful because it is connecting to the message that I got when I had touched the manganese calcite, or when I had touched the pink calcite. It feels to me that, like I said, you guys have gone through a lot. There's a lot of emphasis on this equinox into the winter solstice, on emotional healing, emotional recovery, on really applying a balm to the wounds of your heart. And what I see here in the message that I got from the poem, right? What has happened to me? All these songs tells one story, that of Lala on a lake, not knowing what sandbar I'll run aground on. It feels like there has been a lot of experiences that have been painful, that have been difficult, especially what I'm hearing in romantic circumstances that have not worked out in your favor. It's not fun. What kind of luck have I had? I made harmony out of a man's clumsy plastering job out of the ceiling. That is so real. It's like, I learned how to live with it. I learned how to make it better, right? But then what I really liked here was towards the end where she said, how is it now with me? Magnificent. This becoming more and more awake. So I feel that this 3-month period upcoming for you guys starting in Mabon is very much associated with this magnificence of awakening. That your heart, even though it has gone through so much, even though it has gone through so much trauma or detrimental circumstances, or a lot of pain, right? There's a phrase that's coming to my mind that the amount of pain that we have experienced in life reflects the amount of love that we are able, the depth of love that we are able to show to the world, right? Because we've seen the world at its darkest, we can embrace the world at its brightest. And so what I'm feeling is that energy. You're going to embrace the world at its brightest for the next 3 months. It feels like a balm. It feels like a calming energy. It feels as if there's this healing that's happening in the heart chakra, in the heart space. And it's allowing you to see how magnificent it is that you have made it thus far, that you have learned all that you have learned, that you have cried all that you have cried, so that you can now laugh all that you will laugh. Like it's beautiful. It feels like a very beautiful energy. So I'm feeling called to start with the tarot for you guys, like I did with group 1. So there may be some of you who felt called to check out group 1 as well, or are coming from group 1, because I noticed while I was doing groups 1 reading, I said group 3. So there may be some overlap between your groups. So if you feel called to check out group 1, please feel free to do that. But otherwise, stick around. We'll see what we have going. Oh, how lovely! Yay! We love to see it. We love to see it. Upright or reverse? Upright. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. There we go. Upright. Okay. I'm getting the intuition. They're like, upright. Keep them upright. I was like, okay, cool. We'll go for that. So what I'm seeing here, wait. I was like, let me just finish pulling the cards, and then we'll talk about it, because it feels really good. It feels really good. It feels like, for those of you who may be here from group 1, it feels like there's a journey that you have gone on, and there's a new journey that you're about to go on. This journey that you have gone on is the one that has taught you all the lessons that you needed to learn, right? It's the one that sadly bore a lot of pain. It's the... Did I see that fly? Hidden messages. That's what it feels like. Hidden messages that within the darker parts of the experiences that you've had, there are hidden messages. Oh. Hidden messages that have come to help you release your burdens. Yeah, feels about right. This feels like a vibe. Vibes. Good vibes only. No, we can experience other vibes besides good vibes. We are holistic humans here on this channel. But yes, it feels like for those of you who are coming from group 1, there was a message of a journey. And this journey that you're going on, the new one, this new one that's beginning. And for you guys also here in group 3, right? There is a great emphasis, like I was speaking with Lala, about this magnificence. Yes, that's exactly what I was waiting for. Good. So we'll get to that shortly. Okay. So we start here with the 10 of coins, or the 10 of pentacles. Love to see it. Love to see the 10 of coins. Because the 10 of coins to me always represents abundance, happiness, joy, blessings. It represents a fulfillment of something, especially when it comes to material fulfillment. So perhaps some of you may be receiving a new job opportunity or have just accepted a new job opportunity. Congratulations if that is the case. Or perhaps even are experiencing or in the beginning stages of a new relationship or a new connection, whatever it may be, but it's a new journey that has started for you guys. I also feeling that for some of you, it may not necessarily be a completely new journey, but it may be a new path on a journey that you're already on. So for example, I'm getting this image, right, of a married couple that is getting their second wind, right? Perhaps they were feeling really sad or really, heavy in the relationship, and now they had an opportunity to communicate, to converse, to really shed the past and realize that they are people constantly in growth, right? So it's very beautiful. So that's what I mean by a journey. It doesn't have to be completely new, but it can be new for where you are, a turning of a new leaf, so to speak. So the 10 of coins here is indicative of the greater fulfillments that are waiting for you in these next 3 months ahead. We also have the King of Swords. I see you guys making a lot of decisions. You have cut a lot of people out of your life. You have made a lot of decisions about the kind of experiences that you want. And yes, it feels like there are times where you've made these big decisions and you've made these big connections. Like you've kind of like you cut all the ties that you needed to cut, and you're like, okay, now what? Right? What's next? Where am I going next? And the next 3 months are that energy. This where am I going next? And it's a lot of fulfillment. I see here also the Wheel of Fortune, and I'd love to see the Wheel of Fortune, especially in the context of these other 3 cards, right? Because looking at them together, it feels to me that, your ability to make a decision about the kind of relationships you want, about the kind of ways that you want to look at this life with the King of Swords being a representation of the ways in which you utilize your potential, you utilize your mental acuity and your mental awareness to look at things differently, to shift your perspective, to awaken to the ways in which the traumas and difficulties that you experience have taught you how to move forward, have brought you lessons and wisdom and joy. Hidden joy is the word that's coming to mind, and how that will now lead you to greater fulfillment in the next months ahead, especially with the shifts in the opportunities that are coming for you. So I also see here, I'm feeling called to start with this card. We have the card Home. So this may be in regards to your home life. Some of you may be moving homes, or some of you may be like entering into a new home. Some of you may be going home, whether that home may be to your family's house, or to an old home that you once lived in, or back to an old neighborhood that you once lived in. But it feels to me that there's an emphasis on the home space, not only the space of our home, but also the home that's within our heart, right? The inner home, coming into a space of peace and fulfillment within your own sense of self. And this homeward energy, I'm getting the message too. I'm hearing this song from the Lord of the Rings where it says, home is behind the world ahead, right? And what I love about that phrase is that when you say behind the world ahead, that can mean one of two things. It can mean that, home is behind the world ahead. So my home is behind the world. So I'm heading to that home, right? Or it could mean home is behind the world that is ahead of me. So I'm already walking into the world and home is behind me. But either way, home is where you're headed, right? And that knowledge is what brings you the greater awareness, that magnificence of awakening. No one can ever take you from yourself. No one can ever take you from your heart. No one can ever take you from your joy. And I think you guys in group 3 are realizing that, and that's bringing more space and more changes in your fortune for greater blessings in your life to come, which I'm really excited about. Then I also see here for you guys to have courage. Now, though I get this message, and some of you may like the Lord of the Rings, because I keep getting Lord of the Rings references, but when I see courage, I literally heard the line that Eowyn had said to Merry when they were on the plains of Pelennor about to lead the charge. And she turns to him and she says, "Courage, Merry, courage for your friends," right? And it feels so beautiful. It feels like have courage in this new way of life. Have courage to embrace this new perspective, this new paradigm that showcases to you that you can never lose yourself. You can never lose your home. You can never lose, your joy is yours to have. Your happiness is yours to have. The magnificence of your awakening is yours to have, because here we also have the card Ascension. So it feels to me like have that courage, because when you walk into that new paradigm, it's going to really shift not only your life, but the life of those around you. So that's why I heard that courage for your friends, right? Because the joy that you embrace in your life eventually becomes a joy that everyone in your life experiences, right? And to finish off your reading, I have here, your joy is your sorrow unmasked. So I'll read that to you quickly. It's from the chapter on joy and sorrow, number 13. So it says here, "And the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. How else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight." Absolutely beautiful, and it really connects with the message for the next 3 months for you guys, for this Mabon energy, is to really reimagine the experiences that you've had, to see where your sorrows and this healing of your heart is leading to your greater joy and your greater blessings. So I'm really excited for you guys. I hope that message resonates for you. Just to close off the energy, we have at the bottom of the deck the feminine energy waiting for you. So again, tapping into your deeper femininity, because there is great potential in that feminine energy. There is great potential in tapping into your wisdom and tapping into your healing journey, because you are starting on a new journey, this new beginning with the Fool here. And then at the end it says, "Life goes not backwards and not tarries with yesterday." So don't worry, the past is in the past, and there's so much more waiting for you in the future. So I'm really excited for you guys in group 3. I think it was a very beautiful reading, and I hope it resonated for you guys. I hope you enjoy your Mabon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.